Good evening, my brothers and sisters. Again, my friends and family and loved one. Today is August the 18th with Downsler Injustice going back to section number 11. Injustice going back to my section on section number 11 that I had talked about on August the 10th, 2025. I wanted to make sure that I bring this to the people's, the audience, the public, the citizens' attention. A couple other issues that I wanted to talk about. Now, here is the Constitution of the state of Louisiana in 1974. I'm going to read what it states for the people, for the citizens, the public. Preamble. We the people of Louisiana, grateful to the Almighty God for the civil, political, economic, and religious liberty we enjoy, and designed to protect individual rights to life, liberty, and property, afford opportunity for the full development of the individual, assure equality of rights, promote the health, safety, education, and welfare of the people, maintain a representative and orderly government, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and secure the blessing of the freedom and justice to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. Now, the Article of Declaration of Rights, purpose of the government, all your elected officials, governors, elected officials, your sheriff, attorney general, your governor, state attorney, sheriff, local, city, attorney general, and others, clerk of court, all government of rights originated with the people is founded on their will alone and is instituted to protect the rights of the individuals and for good of the whole. It only legally ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the people. The rights enumerated in the article are inalienable by the state and shall be preserved in violation by the state. This is our preamble. Now, according to my history, none of your elected officials, state, your chief of police, your FBI agents, or your Department of Justice, they have not complied with this according to my felony criminal complaints. I have been denied equal due process of law. I have been denied equal protection of the law because I am a racial African American, and these state elected officials and others went to extreme means to commit conspiracy to deny me my civil rights on the state and federal level. Now, I have received knowledge that a court date has set for June the 17th, 2025, because I was out of state. And I had someone else to file my motion for continue on June the 16th, 2025, on my behalf. I requested that a hearing be set related to my motion. It's my understanding the court never set a hearing date according to the clerk of court office, or the clerk of court office has concealed the judge's order granting or denying my motions. Since the filing of my motion on June 16, 2025, I have never received a notice from the court concerning my motion as of this date, August 18, 2025. To protect my appeal right, I had someone else to file another motion on my behalf on August 4, 2025, a motion to continue, a motion to transfer all my cases to another jurisdiction, and I specified New Orleans because the way the clerk of court office is handling my case, to sabotage my case and prop felony criminal complaint that I have filed against the clerk of court office and their employees. Again, I have not received no judge's order from the court granting or denying my motion that I filed also on August the 4th, 2025. And I have not received no notice from the clerk of court office as required by law. However, I had filed a felony criminal complaint with the Tampa Parish Sheriff Office with the new sheriff. And the new sheriff refused to meet with me and refused to investigate my felony criminal complaint. And I assure you, if he would have launched an investigation to my investigation of my criminal report, that he would have made serve a felony arrest concerning to my felony criminal complaint. I also notified the United States FBI after the sheriff and the other refused to investigate my felony criminal complaint. I lodged the complaint with the United States FBI office. Now, I want the public to know, sorry about that. I want the public to know that my email address and account has been hacked several months ago and have not been able to receive no email. My email account is not working properly. I strongly believe that my emails are being forwarded to unknown source, unknown people. My computer has been hacked by unknown people. Now, if you all can remember, I'm going to back you up. And I talked about this document right here. Y'all remember. This where I filed the motion before the court. And the court never, in other words, heard my motion. Next thing you know, the court held a hearing on a motion by the clerk of court office, a rule to show cause while my appeal should not be, in other words, dismissed. Notice, I was not present because I never received a notice from the court as required by law. However, both counsels for both sides, opposing counsel, was present of this hearing date. And by me not being present, the court, which is the judge, in other words, removed my case off the docket, people. Now, I am the plaintiff. I filed this against the individual. So I had a right to be, in other words, to receive notice of the hearing. But I never received a hearing from the Tampa Parish Clerk of Court office, which is not, and which is the violation of the law. They have a right to send me notification of any court date, hearing date, judge's order that been signed by the judge. So I may be aware that I can be present, that I can present my side of evidence. To this day, it's not happening. Now, I want to bring you up to speed that the case here, docket number 2023-000715. This case was against Our Lady Lake Hospital Incorporation and the president. I'm going to break it down. My medical records from Our Lady Lake was released to a third party without my knowledge, my permission, without my signature, without a court order. I then therefore sent certified letter to Our Lady of the Lake Hospital requesting a reason why my medical records were released. They never responded to my letter, people, which is a violation of the HIPAA law. Now, I cannot get justice from no court around here. And it's around the parish, state of Louisiana, and the United States District Federal Court for my medical records being released to a third party without my knowledge, without a court order. That's one issue. Another issue, also part of the suit, was Cash Coudray and Bass, LLP, and Ashley Edwards Bass, individual and in her capacity as an attorney through Cash Coudray and Bass, LLP, and 1 through 5. Now, according to the records, that my medical record was also released to Cash Coudray and Bass, LLP Corporation. Now, law firm. Now, let me set it straight. Ashley Bass, no, Coudray and their law firm have never been my attorney of record. I never signed no document for them to have, other word, authority. I never signed no authority pre-form for a prior attorney that I may have in the past, authorizing no kind of authority to release none of my medical record, nothing. Okay, now, I want y'all to see. This is the suit that I had filed. Now, I talked to y'all about that. I want to show y'all this document here. This document right here showing dated November 18th, 2023. Now, I filed this motion after I found out that they had removed my case off the docket. I filed, paid all necessary fees, stamped, received by the court, clerk of court office, Tampa Parish, received by them. And they never placed my case back on the docket so I can be heard. I never received no court document notice from the clerk of court office advising me that this case has been placed back on the docket and set for hearing. People, I want y'all to hear me good now. As required by law, the clerk of court office have a mandatory duty to, in other words, send any plaintiff to any suit that's filed on anybody's behalf, opposing counsel, a copy, a notice of a court order. Judgment would issue a date set by the court. So I have an opportunity to respond to this court date notice. Never, my people. I want to read something to y'all. I'm coming back. You can write it down. Statute, Louisiana Statute 14-132, injury, public records. First degree injury to public record is the intentional removal, mutilation, destruction, alteration, falsification, or concealment of any record, document, or other thing filed or deposited by authority of law in any public office or with any public officer. The clerk of court office is a public office. People, let's get that in mind. So this federal statute falls upon the jurisdiction upon the Tampa Parish Clerk of Court office. Now look what it says. Second degree injury to public record is the intentional removal, mutilation, destruction, alteration, falsification, or concealment of any record, document, or other. Now, read another one. 14-133. Filing or maintaining false public records. Filing false public record is the filing or depositing for records in any public office or with any public official or maintaining as required by law, regulation, or rule with knowledge of its falsity of any of the following. Any document containing a false statement or false representation of material facts. A bag up. Remember this? They removed my case off the docket, stated I was served. I never was served a copy by no sheriff or no one on my court day hearing. My case removed off the docket, but both attorneys showed up and defended and spoke. My case was removed off the docket. Then I filed this. Remember, people, right here. Asking the court to, in other words, replace my case back on the docket with an order for the judge to sign. Now, the proper procedure was they stamped it, but they concealed. They didn't proceed with it to the court system. They supposed to send it up to the judge's chamber for the judge to make the decision. In other words, to grant my motion or deny. That never happened, people. So that constituted concealment right here. Now, I just read you all the statute of concealment. This was a public document filed in the court record. Concealed that falls up under these federal statutes here that give the Tampon Pass Sheriff's Office and the state police, Attorney General's office, and the United States FBI office opportunity, mandatory duty to pursue felony criminal charges against the clerk of court office and their employees. To this date, nothing ever has been addressed on my behalf. Starting lawsuit complaint that I filed, starting from 2023, I filed numerous complaints with the local state elected official, the chief of police, United States Department of Justice, and the United States FBI. Now, I'm going to read a couple more statutes. Perverting the course of justice is an offense committed when a person prevents justice from being served on themselves or another party. Remember, I talked about the concealment. Justice would have been served on the other party if the clerk of court would have followed the rules and guidelines that have been set by the Louisiana Supreme Court. But they failed to set and follow the procedures, but concealed my complaint that was filed. Now, I want to read another statute, then I'm going to get to my documents. Conspiracy. Conspiracy. Criminal conspiracy is an agreement or combination of two or more persons, part of a specific person are committing a crime. Look at your clerk of court office. You have the elected official, which is the clerk of court. You have the deputy clerk. You have your chief deputy. You have your supervisor and your clerk of courts. You got over 5 people that's in that office that is aware of my complaint. I have filed complaints to the clerk of court office, to the chief deputy, deputy clerks, to no avail, people. So remember, conspiracy is 2 or 3. Now, the commanding chief is the clerk of court. The clerk of court can direct any of his employees to do what's right as required by law. Now, let's put 2 and 2 together and say, I'm alleging this because I'm on social media. If the clerk of court, Gary Stinger, was very much aware of my complaint that I filed with his office, and he did not do anything to address the issue of my complaint concerning his employee, then he also filed an investigation for malfeasance in office and obstruction of justice because he had a mandatory duty to take action. Now, malfeasance in office is unlawful conduct that is ground for just cause or removal of an elected official by statute or recall election. Malfeasance in office is committed when a public officer or public employee shall intentionally refuse or fail to perform any duty lawfully required of him or her. Intentionally to perform any such duty is a lawful manner. Knowingly permit any other public officer or public employee under his authority to intentionally refuse or fail to perform any duty lawfully required of him, or to perform any such duty lawful manner. And then willfully, knowingly subject any person to the depreciation of any right, privilege, or immunity secured or protected by the United States Constitution or law. Now remember, I'm a citizen. I have that protected right. I'm gonna bag up. Some of y'all might have missed this here, right here. That's the statute. Constitution of state that our elected officials are supposed to protect us from any type of harm. They supposed to, in other words, they supposed to be representing us, looking out for our best interest. Here it is, people. They have failed. That fraud. Fraud is attempting deception to secure unfair, unlawful gain or to deprive a victim of a legal right. Fraud, people. Look what's happening with my suits here. They being removed off the docket, sabotaged. Only person can do that is your clerk of court office. Hello, somebody. Can't nobody else do that but the clerk of court office. And not serve me copies of any pleading. The clerk of court controls all of that. His deputy clerk, chief deputy, supervisor controls that. Now watch this. Obstruction of justice is the act that involves unduly influence, impeding, otherwise interfering with the justice system, especially the legal and procedural tax of the law. I want y'all to see the statutes. All right, now, I'm going to get on. Now, y'all remember I talked about it. I want to bring to your attention, I talked about the state level. Now, the complaint also was filed to the United States Department of Justice and the FBI. I want to read you all. The United States Department of Justice is a part of the Federal Executive Department of American government. Its the chief duty is to enforce federal laws in the United States and administrate justice as well. The Justice Department is responsible for enforcing the laws enacted by Congress, administration of the United States justice system, and to ensure that civil and constitutional rights of all Americans are upheld. The Department of Justice laws enforces federal law, seek just punishment for the guilty, and ensure that fair and impartial administration of justice. The Justice Department mission statement is to uphold the rule of law, keep our country safe, and to protect the civil rights of our people, the citizens. The mission of the Department of Justice, the mission statement of the United States Department of the FBI. The mission statement is to protect and defend against intelligent threats, uphold and enforce criminal laws, and provide criminal justice service. The mission of the FBI is to protect the American people and uphold the Constitution of the United States. The currently main priority from the FBI top priority are to protect the civil rights and investigate people as a citizen of myself, my civil rights. I talked to y'all and I filed numerous federal criminal complaints with these local officers, and no one have addressed my issue. No one have, other words, they have concealed my complaint. Other words, threw it in the garbage can, considered me not even as a victim to a crime, as the Constitution states. They have denied me equal due process of law. They have denied me equal protection of law as a citizen of the state of Louisiana and also as being a black African American. People, where is the people's at? Where's my support? I am requesting from our civil rights organizations. I'm reaching out for your support. I'm reaching out for, I don't have to name all the black organizations. Y'all people, y'all know they out there. I'm just going to bring the facts. Not one have reached out to me for help. Hello, somebody. Since I've been fighting. I have also reached out to our black-owned TV network in D.C. surrounding area. I reached out to Reese Waters, I think Rashard Rickett, Roland Martin. They own their own TV network. They own daily, saying they're exposing the corruption against our government. Also, I reached out to our Action Network and some more. We have our Black Lives Matter, ACLU. I reached out to these peoples. No one has waken up. And the question is, why can't I get an attorney to take my case throughout the state of Louisiana and throughout other states? Hello, somebody. Listen to me, y'all. I'm bringing facts. I'm bringing facts to y'all. I'm going to get out your way. I want to make it clear and plain. Y'all remember, I showed y'all that I filed a complaint against the Department of, against Our Lady Lake Hospital, and I filed suits also against Cash Coudray Law Firm and Ashley Edwards Bass. Noted Ashley Edwards Bass. Okay? Now, this is the envelope that I received from the IRS, stamped, dated. I had no knowledge, people, of this here. Enclosed was this right here. This form, IRS form 4506, IRS tax form, filled out. Listen, all my information, all my personal information was obtained without my knowledge. I never gave none of my personal information out to no one to use for this form. Neither did I sign this, people. My signature, look, I did not personally sign this. I'll fill it out. Someone signed, forged my name on this form. This form was a tax request. They requested to try to get my tax records, federal, from 2016 through 2020. Listen up, people. This form was filled out, not by me. I'm going to talk to you in a minute about it. The person and name as third party that's on this form, plain, Ashley E. Bass and Cash Coudray, they law firm, with their mailing address right here. Their mailing address. Now, this form was submitted in by someone from their law firm with this information. trying to obtain my federal income tax people for 5 years without my knowledge, without my permission, without a court order, and without me personally signing this form. After I received this form here, now this form was dated back in January 31st, 2022. After I learned from this and I received documents, I notified the IRS office. They notified me back to come in and fill out this form, identity theft affidavit, stating that I did not authorize no person name on here, and I did not grant no authority from no prior attorney that I might have, no prior attorney authority, or power attorney, to release my record or grant to nobody else. I went in. I had to fill this affidavit. This is a felony, people. We know identity theft is something serious today. Identity theft is on the news every day. My personal information have been taken on this form. My full social security number, everything, people. So whoever received my personal information have access to my bank cards, bank record, credit card, or whatever, etc. My email addresses, anything that links me to my personal social security number that y'all have to fill out paperwork for. Yeah, I'm just putting it plain. Y'all listen to me good. They have access to it. Anything of value, anything of mine that includes my date of birth, social security number, my physical address. I can make a phone call to a certain entity and pretend that I'm you. But they're going to ask you, what's your social security number, your date of birth, your mailing address. So if these people have my information, guess what? They can pretend and cancel out my credit card. They can get records on my bank card, my credit card, etc. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to the affidavit. It was witnessed by a pastor and another person that this was not my signature on this form. And I did not authorize. I'm going to read it so y'all will know. I got a check mark by the form 14039, IRS form. I have not given Ashley Edward Bass to file or get any information pertaining to any of my tax filing from any years, mainly from 2010 all the way through 2023. So I took a precaution and added 23. I state this under perjury and penalty that all facts are true to the best of my knowledge. From, here it is, my signature, witnessed by a pastor, stated that that was not my signature and another person's signature, attesting that I did not sign that or authorize that. Here's the affidavit that went before the IRS office. Here it is. I want y'all to look good. Stamped copy received by the IRS office. And since this date, January 04, 2023, the IRS office has never responded to my complaint, had never responded to none of my complaints. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. I want to put it plain. Facts, people. They have never sent notification for me to come in, provide more documents, evidence. They never notified me concerning this. Also, people, I want y'all to see. Look at the top. This was a criminal felony report that was made. Several reports was filed. All these documents was given to the chief of police, Bergeron, for the city of Hammond, and the city of Hammond police officer personally met to no avail. City of Hammond, other words, never followed up my complaint with me. Never, other words, made no arrest. All documents was forwarded and they received, placed in their hand. These same documents also was provided to the old sheriff and the new sheriff, Gerald Stickle, to the state police, the attorney general's office, to no avail, people. No one have ever responded to my felony criminal complaint of identity theft, me being a personal victim of identity theft. These same forms also was forwarded to the United States Department of Justice and the United States, otherwise FBI office, same, to no avail. Now, people, I'm a citizen of the United States. Y'all heard me read, and they refuse to consider me as a victim. Now, I want to make it clear that my email address and all this stuff has been hacked. Computer has been hacked. I filed a complaint with the court. One of my motions, I'm going to show you all. Remember I talked about my motion. I want y'all to see. Well, I'm not lying. Look right here. Stamped copy. This was filed. Let me get the first one. So I'm going to bag up, put them in order. Get the first one was filed right here. See the stamped copy by the clerk of court. Went in personally. Was not placed in the mail. June the 16th. With an order attached. Meaning, I requested the judge to set a court date. A motion to continue in it in all things. To set a court date so I can be heard of my cases that's pending before the court. As of this date, August the 18th, I never yet received a court notice from the clerk of court office from the court. Other words, a notice with the judge order signed, granted or denying this motion. As required by law, once the judge signed or denied this motion, the clerk of court office had a right by law to send me a copy of the judge's order so I know when the next court date was going to be available, so I can prepare myself and a right to be heard. I never received a court date as of this date, August 18, 2025, of this first motion to continue. After I did not get an answer, so I had to protect my right, appeal rights. I then had somebody else come in, filed another motion. Look at it. Stamped on August the 4th. I want to make it clear. On this motion here, I was out of town. So I had someone else to file this for me. Stamped copy. I could not make this. I had someone else to file. Stamped copy now. I told it, August the 4th, because of the prior motion, I never received a court notice from, the clerk of court office. Here it is, today's date, August the 18th, 2025. I yet to receive a notice from the court. Again, people, no notices from the court. Listen here, people, the notice. As required by law, as set by Louisiana Supreme Court rules and regulations that govern the clerk of court office throughout the state of Louisiana. And plus, this motion also was filed a motion to transfer my case to another jurisdiction, get it out of Tampa Parish, because I have felony criminal complaint filed against the clerk of court office and his employees. I have filed criminal complaint with the Tampa Bay Sheriff Office and others. So I asked for all this to be transferred to the New Orleans jurisdiction, to a whole nother new jurisdiction, a whole new clerk of court. As of this date, I yet to receive a stamped copy back from the judge's chamber, from the notice of a court hearing, from the clerk court office. Again, that's not right, people. Remember, I talked about it and I read the law to y'all. Remember I tell you, injury with public law. Y'all remember I read those statutes. Now, can I get justice? Here it is. I'm closing. I don't want to be before you long. I want to make my point clear that I pray, and I'm asking the people, we pray that, and we pray that the Lord would hearken the new United States FBI Director, Kash Patel, to order the local FBI office to investigate my felony criminal complaints that I have filed in their office. I have filed numerous FBI complaints with their office, felony criminal complaints, numerous out of the New Orleans office that's being camouflaged, that have been concealed by FBI agents. I have filed numerous complaints with the Department of Justice office from the New Orleans and the Baton Rouge office. They have been concealed by them in their office. I'm asking the new U.S. Attorney for the United States Department of Justice that God would harden her heart, U.S. Attorney Bond, where you will look into these felony criminal complaints that I have filed with your office that the federal agents have concealed. We praying for justice. I'm praying, and I want the people to know, most attorneys out there, the cases 2023 0000715, 2025 0000206, 2025-0000209. These are new cases pending. One of the cases is pending against the clerk of court. The other case pending against Andre Coudray, Kash Coudray Law Office. People think about this stuff. I can assure you, any attorney can log in the network into the clerk of court office system. They won't find none of these documents, in other words, downloaded in the computer system as required by law. As for public records, I have a right to be able to log in and view and print out documents. I cannot obtain none of my documents, and these documents show the status of my case. Now, the case number, remember I told you, protective order was filed in June 2005 against Andre Coudray, attorney, his law firm, Kash Coudray and Bad. That's the law firm. Now, check it out. January 2025, all these months went by. February, March, April, May. Apparently in June somehow, I received knowledge that the judge of the court or the clerk of court office had set my protective order for a hearing on June the 17th, 2025. Look at all these months. People, a protective order, y'all know, if any protective order been filed against the male or female, a spouse or whatever, within 30 days, according to the law, that protective order is supposed to be served, people. Listen here. From June 2025 up until, other word, July July people, the 17th, a court day hearing was served. So, not only this, I paid all the necessary filing fees when I filed a restraining order. I filed all the necessary fees to have the law firm personally served by Tampa Parish Sheriff with the new sheriff office, with Gerald Stickle office. Now, again, I'm on social media. I'm alleging this. Had the sheriff office served the attorney law firm a copy of my suit February, March, April, May, or June? I can't say. I have no copy, no service process. All that is concealed and hid through the Tampa Parish Sheriff Office, people. But I do know that a hearing was held for July the 17th. Yeah, people, listen to me good. Was held for June, let me make it clear. For June the 17th, let me make that clear, 2025. Make it clear now, I want to make it clear to the people. So, all these months, then I received knowledge of all the 21st Tampa Parish judges had recused themselves in the month of February of 2025. They recused themselves to hear my case, to hear my protective order against this, other word, against this attorney and his law firm. Hello, people. Then I received knowledge that an ad hoc judge was appointed in February. So, if an ad hoc judge was appointed in February, why didn't the clerk of court set my protective order, restraining order, writ of mandamus to be heard in February, March, April, May? Hello, somebody. The clerk of court is in the driver's seat. They have all the power, not me. So again, remember, I filed according to the public records and according to law that I talked about. Y'all remember, I talked about it and I presented it to you all. Entry of public records, look it up, statute, Louisiana 14132, Louisiana 14133, filing or maintaining false public record. And I talked about perverting the course of justice. I talked about obstruction of justice and malfeasance in office. All these are felony criminal crime, not misdemeanor, that should not be overlooked by the chief of police, not elected or appointed, by no elected sheriff, state police office, or the governor, or the attorney general's office, or FBI office agent, or the United States office. Hello, somebody. These are felony statutes. Again, I'm closing and I'm praying that the people will give me some support. I'm asking the people to please share Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and others. And if y'all have a mama or family member that's an attorney, may not be on social media, y'all can reach out and let them know that I'm a victim to a crime. And all of these agencies now refuse to consider me as a victim as required by law. And I ask you all to reach out to your representative, United States representative, and your state. If anyone have authority, can reach out to Jasmine Crockett as the United States representative who's been on social media, content, local news, exposing the corruption in D.C. I'm reaching out to you, Ms. Jasmine Crockett, or someone from your staff can help me to get me on the agenda, investigate. Y'all have the power over Department of Justice office, the FBI office, to request such investigation and I will ask for investigation or look into. I thank you all so much. Thank you all for tuning in today's with Dr. Dantzler's Injustice, continuation of Injustice of Delta number 12 of today's date, August the 18th, 2025. Thank you all so much. Continue. Remember, God love you, and I love you. Y'all pray for me.